Okay, we're starting the review for exam 2, and that's on rational expressions, radicals, rational exponents, and geometry topics, homeworks 5, 6, and 7. Okay, look at number 1. What we're going to do with number 1 is reduce. And the way we reduce in general is we factor and cross off the common factors. So let's do that. So first we're going to factor the numerator. Now what can we pull out of 25 and 3? Well, there's no common factor there. And then we have x cubed, x to the 5th. And we have a common factor of x cubed. So we're just going to factor out x cubed. And there we have 25 minus 3x squared in parentheses. All right, in the denominator we have a minus 5x squared. So here we can do some reducing. We have the x cubed and the x squared. Just cancel those. And that leaves us with x in the numerator. The minus 5 stays in the denominator. So we have x 25 minus 3x squared. And then we have divided by minus 5. In number 2, we're also reducing. So we're going to factor this numerator and this denominator. They're both quadratics. So we'll factor. All right, so here the first quadratic, we put x here and x here, and we'll factor that. Let's see, 5 times 3, so that's a minus 5 and a plus 3. And in the denominator we have x times x, and we have 5 times 2. That's a negative 5 and a positive 2. All right, so here are two factors in common. So we reduce, and we get x plus 3 over x plus 2. In number 3, we're reducing once more. Let's factor that numerator factors. It's a difference of 2 squares. So we have 2 minus x times 2 plus x. And now let's do the denominator. All right, so here we have x minus 2 times x plus 4. And we can cancel the x minus 2 with the 2 minus x, but since those are subtractions in different orders, we replace with minus 1 when we do that canceling. So we have minus 2 plus x divided by x plus 4. Number 4 is a product. We're multiplying, and what we do is before we multiply, we try to reduce if possible. All right, so let's factor and see if we can cross off some common factors before we multiply. All right, let's factor x squared minus 3x minus 10. So that's x minus 5, x plus 2, and we can cancel here x minus 5, and we can also divide 10 into 50, and we can also cancel these x's. So in the numerator we're just left with 5, and in the denominator, sorry, this was supposed to be x minus 5, x plus 2. That should be a 2 over there. So in the denominator we have x plus 2. Here's question number 1 on the quiz. So copy this down and you can do question 1 now. In number 5 we're dividing fractions. So remember we're going to take the reciprocal of the second fraction and then multiply. So let's do that. So first we'll change to a multiplication problem. So here we're going to multiply, take the reciprocal, we'll put the 4x in the numerator and 3x minus 5 in the denominator. All right, now factor 25 minus 9x squared, so we have 5 minus 3x. Times 5 plus 3x. Okay, so notice we have a 3x minus 5 here, and here we have a 5 minus 3x. Since these are differences in the opposite order, we can cross them off but replace with minus 1. All right, we have a 4 and an 8 here. Let's divide by 4. And divide by x. So here we have x, and this one cancels. All right, so what are we left with? We're left with minus 1 on top times 5 plus 3x. And in the denominator, we have a 2x. In number 6, we're adding fractions, so we have to get a common denominator. Our two denominators are 3 and x plus 2, and the common denominator is 3 times x plus 2. All right, we'll have to multiply this top and bottom here by x plus 2. So we have x times x plus 2. And in the second fraction, we have to multiply top and bottom by 3. So we have 3 times 7, or 21 over here. And just combine those two numerators. All right. Multiplying through here, this is x squared plus 2x. So we have x squared plus 2x minus 21 over 3 times x plus 2. In number 7, we're again adding fractions, and we need a common denominator. All right, here we have 3x squared, 4x, and 12x. Let's look at the coefficients, 3, 4, and 12. All right, so that we have the common denominator there is 12, and we have x squared, x, and x. So that would be, choose the highest exponent, that would be x squared. So the common denominator is 12x squared. Now 3x squared, compare 3x squared and 12x squared. We have to multiply this top and bottom by 4 to get 12x squared. So we'll multiply 4 times 7 on top here. We have 28. Here we have to multiply 4 times 3 and x times x to get x squared. So we have to multiply top and bottom here by 3x. So 1 times 3x on top, that's just 3x. And here to go from this denominator to this denominator, we multiply by x. So multiply top and bottom here by x. So 5x in the numerator. Add those numerators, and we have 28 plus 8x over 12x squared. Now notice that the everything in the numerator and denominator is divisible by 4. So we might as well divide top and bottom by 4. So here we have 7 plus, divide the 8x by 4, that's 2x. And divide the denominator by 4, and we have a 3x squared. Okay, so that's number 7 reduced. Number 8, we're subtracting fractions, but this time we have a common denominator. So we just have to be careful when we subtract these numerators. We have to be careful with our signs. All right, so let's put everything over the common denominator of 2x plus 5. And here's where we have to be careful. We apply the minus to every term. That's minus 4, minus 2x, minus 5x squared is plus 5x squared. And combine those like terms. X squared plus 5x squared, we have a 6x squared. Minus 2x, we have a minus 4x. And 4 minus 4 is 0. In number 9, we're adding fractions, and we need a common denominator. So first we'll factor those two denominators. The first one factors, as pull out an x from here, we have x times x minus 1. plus 5 over x squared. Okay, so our common denominator will have an x in it, and we'll take the higher power of x, x to the power 2, and also this factor x minus 1. So that's our common denominator. Okay, here we have to go from this here to here. We're multiplying by x, so multiply the top by x as well. And to go from this denominator to this denominator, we multiply by x minus 1, so multiply that 5 by x minus 1. And just combine like terms. Let's multiply this out, x squared plus x, and here we have 5x minus 5. Combine like terms, and we have x squared plus 6x, x plus 5x plus 6x minus 5. Here's quiz question number 2. So copy that into the template and do question number 2. In number 10, we want to get rid of these denominators, a, b here, and b and a over here. All right, so I copied it over here. We have to multiply top and bottom by something that ab divides into, and that b divides into, and that a divides into. So that would be ab. So we're going to multiply top and bottom by ab over 1. Okay, so let's do that. In the numerator, these just cancel, and we get 5. In the denominator, we'll multiply through a over b times ab over 1 plus b over a times ab over 1. All right, now cancel this b with this b, and this a with this a. So we have 5 divided by a squared plus b squared. In number 11, we're going to simplify this complex fraction and get rid of these denominators, x squared and x. So we'll multiply by the common denominator of x squared. When we're going to multiply numerator and denominator by x squared over 1. Okay, so first we do 4 times x squared, that's 4x squared, minus, and now I'll write 3 over x squared times x squared over 1. And in the denominator we have 2 times x squared minus 1 over x times x squared over 1. All right, now we're ready to cancel these two x squares, and x squared, reduce that, and we get an x. Okay, so now we have 4x squared in the numerator minus 3, and in the denominator we have 2x squared minus x. Here's quiz question number 3. So hit the pause button and copy this one down. In number 12, we're just taking the cubed root of minus 27, and the cube root of minus 27 is minus 3, okay, because minus 3 times minus 3 times minus 3 is equal to negative 27. In number 12, we're taking the 6th root of x to the 12 times y to the 30th. Now, this is a perfect 6th power because 12 can be divided by 6 and 30 can be divided by 6. So we can take that root, take that 6th root, and that's equal to x squared. Okay, we divided 12 by 6 to get that, and y to the 5th. So 5 we got from 30 divided by 6. In number 14, we're simplifying the 5th root of x to the 24. Now this is not a perfect 5th power because 24 can't be divided by 5 evenly. So we're just going to factor that. All right, so the the largest number that's less than 24 that can be divided by 5 is 20. So we'll factor that as x to the 20th times x to the 4th. X to the 20th is a fifth power, so we can take that out of the root, and when that comes out of the root, that's equal to x to the 4th. Just divide 20 by 5 to get that. So we have an x to the 4th outside the radical, and an x to the 4th left inside the radical. Okay, number 15, we want to simplify the 4th root of 162. So we want to factor this into something that's a 4th power times something else. So let's think about the 4th powers that we know. We have 2 to the 4th is 16, and 3 to the 4th is 81. And that's about it. Those are the only two that seem to come up in examples. So let's factor 162. Just try dividing by 2 first. We divide that by 2 and we get 81. 81 times 2. So here we have our 4th power, 3 to the 4th. This comes out of the radical as a 3. So we have 3 times the 4th root of 2. Here's number 16. We want to simplify a square root. None of these are perfect squares, so we will be factoring. All right, 25 we factor as 25 times 2. 25 is a perfect square, and then x to the 25, just go down 1 and we have x to the 24. 24 is even, so that's a perfect square, so we factor x to the 25 as x to the 24 times x, and for y cubed also just go down 1 exponent. Y squared is even, so y cubed is y squared times y. Let me just circle the perfect squares here, here, and here. These come out, and 2xy stays in. All right, 25, the square root is 5. The square root of x to the 24 is x to the 12. The square root of y squared is y. Then underneath the radical, we're left with 2xy.